so now I'm going to show you how to make an inexpensive frame, you know, for a picture or a mirror, something like that. Okay, and I'm using it for my mirror. Alrighty, so what I want you to do is go to the lumber yard, alright, and then pick up some molding. Okay, sometimes they have some really pretty decorative stuff there. Okay, and I got this with a nice leaf pattern in it. Alrighty, and then, okay, of course you can't use this for framing material on its own, because we have to have something for it to sit into. Alrighty now. So then I want you to get like a 1/2 inch by 1/2 inch piece of pine. What we're going to do is just attach these two so it's on one side, and that's going to give us a framework for me to set the mirror into. So let's get to it. I'm going to show you how we're going to put this together. So what I want you to have on hand to do this is some brads, okay, glue, and a hammer. Pretty simple stuff. Now before we actually hammer it home, what I want you to do is take your brad, or take your brad, and we're just going to kind of put them in position. Alrighty, and then just kind of warm it up and like get it going a little bit. Alrighty, and then just put on the glue. So I want you to take this and then put it on the edge of your molding. Make sure it's saturated all the way down. And then let's let him hammer it home. Woo! Ooh, that was great fun. Alrighty, so now I'm going to let these boards dry overnight, alright, so they get nice and bonded. Alrighty, and then we're going to make them real pretty with some paint and stain. Okay, so I've got it all laid out, and what I'm going to do is take some penetrating stain, alrighty, and we're just going to rub this into the wood. Okay, and it's just going to take on a whole new life. Ooh, you gotta love that color. So we're gonna put this on. Ooh, and because I'm using this as a mirror frame, I want you to do the underside too, because sometimes the reflection can show back the wood that is underneath here, okay? So we wanna do underneath our frame too. Alrighty, then we're gonna let this dry completely overnight. And then we're gonna come back and show you how I'm gonna play with this wood some more. So now, let's have some fun with some color, alrighty? So since I've got a little green going on in my cabinets, and you know, there's leaves on the molding, I'm just going to kind of just dab in, gently paint all the leaves on the molding. And I'm just going to do this just kind of quickly. I'm not going to worry about it being too precise. So now that the green is dry, what we're going to do is a little manhandling, alrighty, with our molding. And what I want you to do is just take your sandpaper, alrighty, and then we're just going to kind of go over and scuff the surface a little bit. Just kind of stroke it with your sandpaper, back and forth. You can really have some fun with this. Alright, so we scuff up the green a little bit. Yes, woo! Okay, so when that's all done, we're going to have some fun with metallic. And what have I got here? I've got some silver metallic in a tube. Now this you can just get at craft stores, okay? It's really fun stuff. You can put it on with your finger, or you can use a brush. So I'm just going to dab this on the on a little tray. So yeah, we can put it on our finger, and we're just going to rub it on the areas that we want to touch. Let's do this gently. And I'm just going to do both sides of this molding. The silver is dry. So what I think I'm going to do with this molding now is put on a bronze color, a golden bronze. I'm just going to wipe it on and wipe it off. There we go. Ooh, this is going to be nice. It is just pretty much playing around with it until you're happy. Woo, here we go. Okay, everything's dry, so now we're ready to use our miter saw. Alrighty, and cut this to size. But there's one thing you got to remember, okay, and that is that when we're cutting our frame, we're not going to want it to go to the outside edge for the measurement, you know, if we're measuring it against the art piece or the mirror. We've got to remember that it's only going to be butting up to the inside part of the frame. Alright, so keep that in mind when you're doing your miter cuts. So now let's put this frame together. Okay, so what we're going to need is you're going to want to have one of these little corner brackets where we clamp our moldings into it, okay, just like I've done here. Alright, remember to stick the glue in. And then we're going to do a little pre-drilling and just kind of nail it together. Woo! There we go! Alrighty, we've got the frame all put together. So now I'm thinking that because my mirror is a big old heavy thing, I want to probably just kind of seal it in here, okay, make it a permanent deal. So I've got some sealant and caulking in this gun, and it's a nice creamy color, but it dries transparent. Alrighty, so what I'm going to do is just pull the trigger and seal the deal. Time to hang the mirror. This is going to be great. Okay, and what I got was one of these hangman devices, okay? You put one side on the back of the mirror. Alrighty, and then we're going to put this on the wall, and it hangs the heavy stuff. Okay, and then I'm going to have it rest on the tile anyway. So let's get started, and we're going to draw the line of where I want this to hang from. Okay, so I'm going to measure up. Ooh, here we go.